Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. It's been such a blessing to me to see some familiar faces and hear some familiar voices in these blogs, so I thought I'd chuck my hat in the ring and offer one as well. I hope you're all keeping well and staying safe. And it's great that we've got some friends of OCF watching these blogs, so hi to you. But most of you regulars will know that I've just returned from Florida, where my brother lives. I was out there visiting him for a couple of weeks, and it looked a bit hairy for getting back for a while there. But lots of you very kindly prayed, and God made a way where there was no way, and we got home. But there were some really memorable occasions while we were there, and one of those occasions was that we rented a boat for an afternoon, and we went out along the Gulf of Mexico where my brother lives, and we went to a small island where my brother and the kids and my dad could do some fishing, and me and my mum and my sister-in-law could kind of collect some shells and just enjoy walking along the island. And I most enjoyed floating around in the Gulf. I kind of took my swimming costume and I went and got in the sea, and the water was green and sparkling and beautiful, and so warm, and the weather was glorious, and I was just loving floating in the water. And I took a video of it because it was so peaceful. I wanted to remember it as an animate place, and I was just chilling with Jesus in the water and watching the little piper birds along the shoreline, and just taking it all in. And there was quite a strong current, and if you've ever been to sort of the Sandcastle in Blackpool or any of those big pools, they can often have like a wave machine or one of those kind of lagoons where you can allow the current to carry you through it. And this had a very similar effect going on. So I could start at one end of the island, and sort of just take my feet off the bottom and let the water carry me along and enjoy the view. And I was doing that, and it was a lot of fun, and it was really peaceful. But there was a point towards the end of the island where the water suddenly got a lot deeper and the current got a lot stronger. And I had clocked that once before and kind of recovered it quickly enough to get back on in shallow enough water that my feet could touch the ground. But so I'd clocked that and thought, well, I need to make sure that I get out of the water and walk back around to the boat when I'm done. But I was kind of distracted and enjoying it and just taking it all in and having such a good time that when it came time to walk back to the boat, I allowed the water to carry me so far, and then realised that I'd allowed it to carry me a little bit too far, and suddenly the ground beneath my feet disappeared. And I found myself caught in a riptide, and the ground just wasn't there when I tried to stand up, and for a moment I felt absolute panic. Because, I was only a few feet from the shoreline. It was so close, and yet I couldn't get back to it. And I was swimming and swimming and swimming, and I wasn't moving. It didn't seem to be getting any nearer to the shore and any nearer to where I could put my feet on the ground again. But I knew that the worst thing you can do in the water is panic. And if I'd started to flail about, I'd have been a goner. So I just focused on that shoreline, and I prayed and I prayed and I prayed, and I swam and I swam and I swam. And miraculously, my feet found the ground again. And there was an old fisherman sitting on the corner of that island and fishing, and he said, "That's a real bad place to swim." I thought, yeah, I found that out. I never intended to swim there, but I was so taken in by all that I was enjoying that I didn't notice the ground disappear. And suddenly I found myself in a really difficult spot, and that was obviously very memorable for a variety of reasons, and it only lasted a couple of minutes. It was maybe a minute of struggle before my feet found ground again, but it was a really long minute, and it's kind of stuck with me, and I've been thinking about that as I've been thinking about our current situation. And I don't know about you, but a lot of the things that I stand upon for my well-being and mental health and the things that I really enjoy in life and the things that help me cope with other things in life have all shifted at the moment, temporarily, but a lot of those things have disappeared from beneath our feet for a short time, hopefully. And I just kind of think that a big part of our response to that is that focus that I had on the shoreline, that focus on Jesus as our lighthouse who carries us safe to shore, And Psalm 139, I think it's verse 5, talks about how he hems us in behind and before. And I've just been thinking about that loads over the past week or so since that incident, and then also in particular with reference to us getting home. And just our flights just kept getting cancelled, and people kept telling me, you have to get home now or the borders will close and you won't be able to get home. And I got a lot of scaremongering stuff sent to me, and the world seemed to be saying you can't get home. And in that moment in the sea, it felt like you can't get back to shore, and yet I have a God who ensures we get back to shore, and I have a God who ensures we get back home, and our ultimate destination is him, and he will ensure that journey is completed too. So I just wanted to encourage us, I guess, to just keep praying and just keep swimming, because that kind of, it's quoting Finding Nemo, I know, but it's one of those little phrases that's got me through over the years. It's just kind of that, keep focused, keep pressing towards him, keep praising him, keep worshipping him, keep praying. And sometimes against all the odds we get back to shore, but I do believe that our God will carry us through this time, and that there might even be a lot of real joy in it and a lot of discovery of new heights in him in it. And I just want to get to know him better in that, in this time. And even those little scary moments, and then God kind of brings me through them, I feel like I learn something new of him in that. And my prayer, I guess, is that we all come through this safe, and we all come through this well, but that we all learn something new of him, or rediscover some aspect of his character that we just become more sure of, having seen him see us through something. So I hope you're all well, and I hope you're all still seeing God and meeting with God and hearing from him. Our family looks a little different at the moment in terms of expression, but it's just as true and solid as ever. So thank you all for your prayers and for keeping in touch, and I am praying for you, and I'll see you soon.